I also saw on Discord that we are in for long SCP read. Yeah, because we do have we have almost 20,000 words to read. Usually that would mean that because with like what 13 to 15,000 I already take like almost 3.5 to 4 hours long. So that's why I'm saying it's gonna be a long night. Once it's like close to 20,000, I know it's gonna be at least 4 to like 4.5 hours long, depending on how much I get distracted as well. But yeah, I already looked up the author name. We have Kate McTyrus. Oh, I assume that's how you pronounce it. We had them a couple times already in series 3. Sorry, that's the pizza speaking. Yeah, they're part of the Dixieland Nightmare Magic. Let's see, I think the most recent one we had of Kate McTyrus would be 2558. Let's see here. 255. Oops, that's 66558. That's the one that just came out. Horseshoe Beach First Baptist. Yeah, that's the one that just freshly came out on my channel. Very fresh. Fresh out of the oven. I mean, it's not the newest one because there's another video now that's the newest one. But I think that looking at all these numbers, yeah, I don't think there's any in the 2 6s. So yeah, that's the most 2 7s. So that's the most recent one. Kazabon, welcome. But yes, that's the most recent one we have from Kate McTyrus. Now we have an SCP called The Knowledge. Now, before I get to that, let me just really quick, see if I can. Yeah, if I can add those sounds. Let me add decapitation. There we go. And let me add "You shall not fuck with me." Should work, right?
You shall not fuck with me.
And
decapitation.
Yeah, works. Let me just reduce this to here. That should be. Yeah, maybe decapitation and "You shall not fuck with me" are a little bit loud. I have to fix that afterwards. All right. Again, The Knowledge is our SCP of today. Let's get to it. I need to get used to my current setting. Also, this is the wrong way around. Transform. Horizontal flip. There we go. Now we got it. Alright, here we go. Oh, yeah. I have my new reading glasses. Object class. Well, not reading. Blue light glasses. Object class. Safe. Special containment procedures. -1-A through O are to be secured in Foundation Garage. 020-2830. The only unredacted copy of -3 and the original copy of -4 are to be secured in standard safe class files in regional headquarters 020 BEF. Twice yearly, 15 -3 positive drivers and 15 agents from local task force 020 BEF color 9 tails are to perform routine checks and maintenance on -1-A through O to ensure the continued function, followed by travel outlined in itinerary 2830. Any disturbances or changes noted in -2 Delta are to be reported to regional command, who will be responsible for revising containment procedures and object class if necessary. That's not Delta, is it? Man, you think after like seeing this symbol meaning, it is Delta. I'm dumb. 9K posting started today, by the way. Oh, fuck. Who will be responsible for revising containment procedure and object class if necessary. And what does it say here? Commonly known as the On the Streets, Shadow Slipway, C. Evans, Nathaniel terminology of minor groups of interest in the Greater London area. We will work on SCP for Foundation Journal 2005. So let me just check if everything works here. I need to reduce the volume of the music a little bit on my side. Continuing effort will be made to identify and locate persons of interest 0208 30 Penrose and associates and detain them from questioning. Like, it's it's funny for me to like see that like 9K posting start today and me going, oh fuck, because I'm like I'm happy for the SCP community that they're still going strong, that they still have like things that they want to like post, and that they, you know, expand the universe and all that stuff. But then I'm also thinking to myself, like, that's that's more for me to read until I get to the end. Description. SCP-2830 is the collective designation for a series of objects related to formerly operating anomalous luxury transportation collective known as the Knowledge, believed to be operational from the mid-1960s to 2005. And here we have a picture of the -1C during routine maintenance September 2005. That does look like a UK, it's a very typical UK taxi. -1A through O are the series of 15 Austin FX4 Hackney carriages which have been modified via extra-normal means. Also called cabs or London taxis. Yeah, they're very typical here. Those are the taxis. Which I think is cool that the taxis here have such a distinct look. Yeah, of course, in New York, they're like yellow cabs, right? So it's really easy to like see them because no other car looks like this here. There are 3 primary features shared by all instances of -1, but also they're nice and bulky, meaning you have a lot of space. You can also can sit the way that the car is facing, you know, and even like the other way, so you can like have a chat with whoever you're taking the taxi with. I think London taxis are definitely one of the best designed taxis out there for sure. -1 instances when driven by -3 positive individuals can access a complex of series of alternate streets within Greater London termed -2 Delta. The interior cabins of -1 instances form a shared space approximately square meters in size, termed -2. What the fuck is this? I never seen this in my life. Oh, that's a different. It's a uppercase C, psi. Oh no, it's C, right? It's C. Again, Greek follows more the alphabet. That's like the German follow as well. So I assume it's 2C. Exterior spatial position driving of -1 is effectively uncoupled from the interior experience. Innerly, Alistair et al. Books of the and that covers complex uncoupling and subjective interior-exterior physical experiences in SCP-2830 and SCP Observer and SCP Foundation Journal 2007. 312B. Can I just say, these are my least favorite footnotes. It is the most regular footnote that you usually have in when you write like an essay, for example. You would have like a little footnote and be like my source is this. But for the Foundation, even though I understand that it still would make sense in their world, I don't know, as a reader, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, it's just something that potentially does not exist or does exist. Yeah, I don't know. I like the footnotes more that have like extra little tidbit of information, even though sometimes it can be a little bit overbearing because you're like reading like 5 paragraphs describing what the SCP is, and then you have like 3 footnotes that are like mini sentences that just add more information, and you think like you could have just added that to the original paragraph to begin with. But yeah, I prefer those a little bit more. Despite the existence of -2C, outside observers regardless of position see -1 instances as spatially normal and see the driver and passengers sitting calmly within. Research into the nature of this effect is ongoing. -2 Delta is the area which can be accessed via -3 positive individuals driving in -1, a vast and potentially endless series of asphalt streets lined with buildings. The Foundation has, as of yet, not discovered methods of access to -2 Delta other than -1, and no travel in -2 Delta thus far has indicated presence of life or access by other groups. -2 Delta is perpetually dark, save for halogen street lamps approximately every 10 meters. These street lamps do not appear to require maintenance but can be removed and damaged. No effort to relocate damaged street lamps has thus far succeeded due to the complex nature of -2 Delta's topography. What appear to be buildings, trees, fire hydrants, and other street-side accoutrements lining the streets of -2 Delta are in fact constructed entirely of black asphalt and display no signs of prior inhabitants or activity by any form of life. These are more references than footnote, to be honest. Yeah, no, I get that, but like, as a reader, I feel like the ones that are more interesting are definitely the ones who give you a little bit tidbits of information. Even though, again, you could also still make the argument, like, why isn't that just in the original paragraph? And the references kind of, like, make more sense to what a footnote is. But yeah, at the end, to each their own. It's just a little nitpick, honestly. It's not really a critique. -2 Delta picture of 1 first exploration. -1E is visible on center right. -1E. Oh, is that like over here? That little like other car right here coming, swerving in. A different portion of -2 Delta has apparently been accessed by every incursion, and no attempt to meet other instances of -1 within -2 Delta has been successful. All attempts to observe signal flares, fireworks, rockets, and other objects sent by teams from other -1 instances have similarly ended in failure. By the way, Casabon, how was your vacation? That's the last time we spoke. Like, how was it? Did you have a good time? Photographs taken within -2 Delta uniformly display distortion and light refraction not visible to the naked eye. All efforts to map -2 Delta have thus far ended in failure. Owing to the complex and potentially ever-changing internal topography of -2 Delta, exploration of -2 Delta is only to take place with Foundation-approved -3 positive drivers and level 1 or above Foundation personnel. And said personnel are to never leave view of the -1 instance they utilize to enter -2 Delta. -2C is a shared space of the interior cabins of -1 A through O, approximately square meters in size. It consists of a large ballroom, 15 entry slash exit areas corresponding to -1 A through O, restrooms, a large kitchen, storage, and rooms believed to have been used for lodging. Though wear patterns in -2C, it suggests it was in active use for between 20 and 60 years. All furnishing and contents of -2C were apparently removed prior to turnover to the Foundation, save for 1 bronze chandelier, 1 chair, and non-functioning. I mean, that's just one. It's just one word. It's definitely like a 4-digit number. Non-functioning light fixtures and water faucets, which show evidence of past regular use. It's not known how -2C received water and power when it was in regular use. I read an SCP once that indicated footnotes and references differently. One used numbers, the other letters. But like within the SCP, like they like use letters to indicate references and then numbers for actual footnotes. Because so far I only seen numbers. The windows of -2C rooms, expecting the 15 entry/exit areas, are apparently unbreakable and display only still blurred shapes and shine with natural light levels appropriate to the current time in London. No connection between blurred shapes visible and actual locations have yet been discovered, and further destructive testing on -2C has been suspended. The 15 entry/exit rooms of -2C are a uniform size appropriate to the corresponding -1 instance's interior's cabin, and their windows display an accurate view of the area around said -1 instance. Within each entry/exit room, momentum and sensations accurate to the motion of its corresponding -1 instance can be felt. The 4 doors of each entry/exit room lead to the world outside the -1 instance, and the rear door leads to the main ballroom of -2C. It went well. I went to New York for a couple of weeks. It was a beautiful city and had a lot of fun. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, I like New York. I think New York is pretty dope. It's also like the only like place in the US so far from like the places I've been in the US that I feel like comfortable walking around. It's still, you know, It's still the US, but New York is definitely pretty dope. I remember that SCP that had a ton of footnotes. You mentioned that like 2 weeks ago as well. That like when Xeno mentioned like the how many like when we had another SCP that had a lot of footnotes, and Xeno was like, "Oh my god, that's a lot." -3 is a page pamphlet displaying Meredith / Class 6 some concern info hazardous properties. Reading and understanding operative phrases on pages 8 and 13 cause an individual to become -3 positive. -3 positive individuals display the following traits. I just now thought about like how like I might lose people watching my stuff because I'm like, man, the US. Because I keep like harping of how much of a shit show the US is. And then I have a huge like, you know, viewer count from the US, so I wonder how many people will watch my videos and see that and go like, no, I cannot support this guy anymore. He's making fun of my country. Comprehensive, exact knowledge of streets, businesses, and addresses in Greater London, and the most effective methods to wayfind between 2 or more locations in Greater London. The ability to navigate -1 instances into and out of -2 Delta easily. Entering and exiting -2 Delta can be done at arbitrary locations, seemingly unrelated to the actual real-world physical distance between entry and exit points. This ability cannot be used to guide -3 negative drivers into or out of -2 Delta, and -3 positive instances cannot elucidate or instruct -3 negative individuals as to the nature of -1's effect or how they are activated. Here we go. And as noted in the secondary containment proposal, it is possible -3 positive individuals and intentionally withholding this information, or there are other unknown factors to -3 positivity. As a compromise, primary containment therefore stipulates that only 15 level 0 Foundation staff or contractors are to be -3 positive at any given time. It should be noted that -3 positivity does not change an individual's ability to drive an automobile or driving skill. Therefore, it is recommended that -3 positive drivers used for testing are trained and licensed drivers with clear safety records. 5 excerpts with redaction of the operative phrases on pages 8 and 13 from -3 are present below. 4 excerpts from -3. To be honest, I would not care if you made fun of my country. I mean, you wouldn't, but the US is they're very proud. They're very proud people of their country. Like a lot of people who, you know, in the US who are educated and know how to like, you know, learn from history, they can see that the country is going to shit. But a lot of people in the US will still argue to this day like, no, we're doing fine. We're one of the strongest countries out there. And those people would give a lot of shit of me saying things. And don't get me wrong, the US when it comes to like the nature aspect of it, is pretty dope. Some of the cities that they have, pretty dope. But there's a lot of things wrong. I'm not going into the details. We're not here for that. The knowledge and informative guide. Yep. The knowledge for too long. Our brothers have wound through the smoke with great audacity and little success. We deserve better. Welcome, friends, to the knowledge. We have the tools to ensure prosperity for our shepherds and deliver London a new standard of transport. If you are in possession of this pamphlet, you have been selected. Continue reading. Welcome. And here we have a little pen rose. Then you will walk on your way securely and your fool will not stumble. And let the pine to aggravate thy store others but stewards of the excellence. Thy black is fairest in my judgment's place. When most I wink, then do mine eyes best see. When disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, redacted, to what works in like the dyer's hand, then no marvel then, though I mistake my view. Redacted, to mourn for me since morning doth thee grace, how heavily do I journey on the way? These poor rude lines of thy deceased lover, when to unseeing eyes thy shade shines so redacted. Our exclusive shallow slipways bring you to high-value patrons first. A generous compensation agreement ensures the redacted is well rewarded. So it's kind of like a taxi that goes through like a shallow dimension to bring you to a location, huh? It almost sounds like that. Sorry. -4 is a handwritten note purporting to be from a Penrose whom multiple sources indicate as the founder/operator of the knowledge. It was placed on the windshield of -1A when on June 5th, 2005, -1A through O and -3 in -A in -A's glove compartment were left in the parking lot of a Foundation-owned facility in Leeds. Online footage from the facility, including all backups, is missing. -4 is reproduced and transcribed below. Friends, I am known as Penrose. Many, more I think than you assume, know of the bloody world of glamour and strange beauty that lurks beneath there every day. The everything under everything has had its barons, its importers and patrons for hundreds of years. Us common folk cab drivers, for instance, spoke of this world in humble whispers, if we spoke of it at all. But this new hidden elite yearned to be recognized, to be waited on. They want a higher class of every available service. For 40 years, the knowledge provided that higher class everyday black cars. On the outside, first class, that was from the -4 front, now we have the -4 back. Everyday black cars on the outside, first class accommodation within. Our shallow slipways took the men and women who bought, sold, and lived lives rich with powerful magic all about this city, the beating heart of their world. But my associates and I agree, we are done. Not because of conflict or tragedy, no, we have done more than most men ever aspired to. We have made our money, made our friends, and it is time for us to slip away and enjoy it all. We want what we build to be admired. If we gave our goods to our biggest clients, they would sell them, or find new brothers to start the idea of the knowledge anew. But you keep strange and beautiful things in perpetuity. I hope you enjoy our work. We certainly did. Penrose. Can I ask something stupid? You can ask something stupid, yeah. And welcome, Zeno, welcome. Yeah, we just you just missed taxis. London cabs are going to the shallow realm. Yeah. Make it a little bit like for the high society people, so they don't have to, like, you know, they can don't have to wait in traffic, I assume. But also something about, you know, it's interesting how it says here, like, we built a lot, so it does sound like they made that happen. Like they built either they meant like the money to spend on things, like they build the lives, and that's what they mean by that, or something else. But yeah, no, we're still at the first one. You haven't missed much. You're all good. You're all good. How are you doing, Senna? How's it going? Did someone write these notes for the SCP, or are they just pictures of notes that someone took? I'm pretty sure those are notes that somebody wrote for the SCP. I highly doubt somebody would write this in real life. First of all, that would be weird. If somebody writes about, you know, like shallow slip cars and we had enough, we meant to enjoy what we build, I think you would have found some sort of like higher sect, like, you know, like the high society cult, and I think the last thing you would do is write an SCP and take pictures and be like, oh guys, look what I found. I think you would call the police and be like, okay, somebody is planning something and it's not good. It would be like, I would honestly be very surprised if somebody like found something that is like very ominous sounding and was like, I'll use this as a SCP material. I would be very concerned of that person's like priority in their mind. That would be highly confusing and very worrisome.